Tesla is set to deliver its second batch of China-built Model 3 sedans on January 7. That is according to Reuters. Now, the first deliveries were only to 15 Tesla employees. These deliveries come a year after Tesla built its plant in Shanghai, and the company is targeting 250,000 cars produced per year in this factory. Of course, at the end of this month, we will get Tesla Q4 earnings, where the all-important delivery number expectation will be higher than 100,000. So we will see if Tesla can meet that. But Tesla having big gains in China, you guys, and it's interesting because I know we've talked a lot on this show, I think you were on this day, about how actually Chinese EV companies haven't done as well in China. Some irony there.
Right, absolutely. And Elon Musk was really banking on his Shanghai plant to really help him circumvent the trade war and the tariffs and actually be able to sell to the biggest car market in the world, China. So it'll be interesting to see this new push, this new delivery of these cars. The first push was actually, most of them were purchased by Tesla employees, which I thought was pretty interesting. But it looks like this second time around, it's actually going to be going to consumers.
What's the discount there?
That's a good question, actually. We should find out what the industry rate is. But one thing that I wonder about this, and I've had this question a bunch of times, is what are these cars exactly the same? Could you tell the difference between a Chinese-made Tesla and an American-made Tesla? This is something that, as this company enlarges its global footprint, they'll have to make some decisions. Obviously, a lot of cars are very, very different in certain markets. And this is certainly, Tesla is so American-focused and now getting into this Chinese market and kind of seeing what their global plans are and how that works. That's something that I think everyone will be watching.
Yeah, Tesla will definitely have to pivot there.
Yes, you mentioned China now the biggest car market in the world. I believe that happened in 2019. It wasn't the case until 2019. And it's interesting because for so many things, pretty soon, I imagine everything, China will be the biggest market. I mean, China's just huge, and I think people often forget just how big a company can get with only doing business in China. Look at Alibaba, look at Tencent. I mean, it's 1.3 billion people.
Yeah, absolutely. And unless you're dealing with intellectual property theft and all those issues that brought on the whole trade war, I mean, it's all about, yes, it's a great market, largest car market, but at the same time, can you protect your intellectual property when you're trying to, manufacture your own items?
Yeah, I mean, I think one thing when it comes to China that was especially evident given the recent Medium post by Google's former head of international affairs, Ross Lejeunesse, he was sort of saying, kind of explaining Google's relationship with China, and kind of got me thinking about, if you're a company and you're trying to, make money for your shareholders as the most important thing, really, what you're trying to do, it takes a lot to not do business with China. It takes a lot to avoid that, even when there are all of those problems, whether it's the possibility of losing that intellectual property, whether it's the possibility of aiding in humanitarian crises and horrible violations.
Because of restrictions on free speech.
Yeah, and so this is something which I think is especially interesting. But one thing, looking in terms of what this guy, this from Google, wrote, was the role of these kind of incentives in middle management and kind of upper middle management to decide these things, because there's a lot of money to be made. It may not always be to the company's advantage or disadvantage. That may be a separate question. Certainly for Tesla here, I wonder, obviously electric cars are so new, will we see Tesla's technology everywhere now? Probably.
And also the labor costs. It's cheaper to make in China, so it's hard to pass that opportunity for
I saw an effective ad last night for an EV Dodge, what's like the most iconic Dodge car?
Dodge Ram?
Here we go.
Charger?
I don't think it was a Charger.
Was it a truck or a car?
A car, but it looked great. Can't remember. But I thought, see, it's not just Tesla who can do EVs.
There you go.
Watch out, Musk.
Hey investors, Zach Guzman here. Are you interested in learning more about the markets and getting the latest financial news? Well, then click right here to subscribe to our Yahoo Finance YouTube channel. Get the latest up-to-the-minute market analysis, big interviews in the world of finance, and information on how to manage your money every day wherever you are.